Charlie Cox, is he going to be back? Well, look, rumour is he is. Rumour is. Okay, take it with a pinch of salt. Right? Now, he is allegedly back for She-Hulk. Okay, the Marvel series. There's also rumours of him appearing in Spider-Man No Way Home. I almost forgot the name then, because there's so many bloody home this, home that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so allegedly he is going to be appearing in She-Hulk. This comes to us from Grace Randolph via the Twitter Twatter. And she tweeted this out. Spoilers, FYI, just dropping it there on her Twitter for everyone to be annoyed by. Which actually, side note, there was quite a few people annoyed by it. She says this: I can also tell you that not only is Charlie Cox in She-Hulk, but he'll appear in costume as the Daredevil. Not just as Matt Murdock, like in Spider-Man No Way Home. When you see him, you're gonna go crazy. Now, look. This is... Well, one, it's unconfirmed at this point, but that's the nature of leaks and sources and how that goes. So I'm not going to rag on Grace Randolph for that. It just is what it is. But it is not confirmed. Is there a likelihood of this happening? Yeah, there is a likelihood. But what we need to be completely aware of and completely down the line, this is 100% right. It's not the same Daredevil. It is not this Daredevil. It's not the same. Okay? Because how those rights deals work, right? And I get it, because there'll be a lot of people going, yeah, well, Marvel owns the character, so they can do what they want. Unfortunately, they can't. When they sell off a property, even for a limited time, which is what they did, they licensed it out or they sold the rights out, however the deal was struck, to a company such as Netflix, which then made this becomes a form of, I guess you could say, like an intellectual property. It's not, but it becomes a form of. This version of Daredevil cannot be used again. This version cannot be used again. They can use the same actor, but this version cannot be used again. And that's really important. So take it with a pinch of salt that he's coming back. We've heard a lot of rumours now, so there might be some truth behind it, and I'm more inclined to believe that there is, rather than there isn't. I actually think that there probably is some truth there. And will he appear in costume? Again, rumour has it now, courtesy of Randolph, that he will. But will he be the same character? Yes and no. It's ultimately still the same actor, right? So will he do a bang-up job of being the same Matt Murdock Daredevil? Yeah, probably. But will it be the same iteration, the same incarnation, the same costume that you all like? No. Can't be. Unfortunately. Costume will have to change. Unless they bought it back. They would have had to have struck another form of a deal to get that version back. So this is never, or unlikely to happen. Now, a good comparison to this, and this is just to sort of bolster, double down on it and give you guys a bit more of an insight. A good comparison to this is actually Dredd. So 2012's, I think it was now. 2012. God damn, such a long time ago. 2012's Dredd with Carl Urban, right? When the TV series was announced as this big, epic new thing that was going to be made, I interviewed the owner of 2000 AD, as well as Dredd, the IP, and one of the producers there. And it's one of those things that, as much as they would want Carl Urban to come back as the Dredd, they can't. They can't do a sequel to Dredd. That show was never intended to be a sequel. That show, I know you come for Daredevil news, but I just want to elaborate on it, because this affects a lot of other stuff. That show was always intended to be a new thing. A thing about Mega City 1 with Dredd popping in and out here and there. And even though there was rumours of Carl Urban coming back, just like there's rumours of Charlie Cox, because I'm getting to my point, this is why there's a comparison. Even though there's rumours, or there was rumours of Carl Urban, it's not that he's going to come back to reprise the same character, right? He will, or Charlie Cox, or Carl Urban, whatever, would reprise the character of Judge Dredd, but it's not the same iteration, because they can't. They're not allowed to. They can, however, and this is back to Disney and Marvel now, They can, however, be pretty smart about it and ambiguously keep the door open. They don't have to acknowledge that he's a new character, that he's a new iteration of that character. They don't have to. They won't be able to reference key points from the previous series, but they will be able to reference things which maybe they'll do sort of a backstory on here and there. He could talk about the Defenders, but not the Defenders as you know them. He could talk about Jessica Jones, but not the Jessica Jones that we know. Right? So there are these little ways that they can keep it ambiguous, so they don't have to tell you. They don't have to go, hey, look, ladies and gents, it's brand new, it's all new, blah, 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 just forget about it. They don't have to do that, because they can just keep it very, very ambiguous. And that's quite smart. And if Disney and Marvel are going to be smart about this, in the She-Hulk series, that's how they do it. Now, of course, the rumour is, and it is just a rumour at this point, is that you're going to go crazy. And I would assume that's because of his appearance as Daredevil. You know, Grace Randolph's pretty clear here, as per her sources. You know, Charlie Cox is going to be in She-Hulk, not only as Matt Murdock, but you're going to see him as Daredevil in costume. When you see him, you're going to go crazy. So, the indicator there is that the costume's going to be something. Hopefully a good one, because you can get that real bad, you know, like Daredevil from 2003, the movie that we shall not talk about that much, because it's not that good. So the indication here is that the costume's going to be mental, and it could be, FYI, it could be close to this. They have about 25% of a difference that they can make on the costume, and then get away with licensing and rights and things like that. But there you go. Netflix Marvel characters are making a return, as per Grace Randolph. We'll wait to see if this comes to fruition. Grace is very hit or miss. She has had stuff right in the past and stuff wrong in the past. This obviously doesn't remove the validity of this. We'll just a case of waiting and seeing. But what do you guys think? Would you like to see Charlie Cox back as Daredevil? That's kind of the problem with Marvel currently, is that they've inherited these characters now that have been played by actors that have done quite an iconic role with them. You know, Charlie Cox, Daredevil. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. Yeah, you've even got Patrick Stewart, right, as Professor X. There's all these really key actors that are now only seen for that role. And there's even now rumours that Hugh Jackman's going to suit up again as Wolverine. And I think that's a shame, because they're actually sort of narrowing their catchment for other people. But let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thanks so much. Take care.